Hi guys, Daz here with another episode of my top 20 selling comic books of the week. This time it is episode 36, and today I'm going to be discussing the best selling comic books on eBay for the 30th of August 2019. Basically, since coverprice.com came on the scene, they've become a go-to spot for watching eBay trends on comics. And they scour thousands of eBay sales to culminate data to spotlight the hottest selling comics. Here is this week's top 20. As always, let's see if you can beat me. I've got a feeling I've got a better week coming up. Let's get into the books. Starting in at number 20, a book from 2015. I'm surprised that this has only just made it into our top 20. The book in question, Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur, guys. Issue number 1. Now, there is an animated show on its way. Now, Spec isn't really fueled by animated shows, and they don't tend to excite collectors too much, especially when this one seems to be aimed more at a younger audience, but these books still have been heating up somewhat. Thanks to my good friend JT Rogers in the week, he sent me a second copy. So I have 2 copies now. Great stuff. Thank you for that amazing AOK, my friend. I think I might put my older right ear copy up for sale. It seems to be the right time. Well, this past week, this book, due to the fact of it being the first appearance of Moon Girl, who was Luena Lafayette, and the first appearance of Girth, Killer Foal, Ratchacha, Tharg, Thok, and Thornteeth, has sold 27 copies this past week. Had a 7-day trend of plus 180%, and at a high sale raw CGC 9.8 sold for $180. Very respectable, guys. This show could be a hit, and this book tends to climb and climb and climb. Now on eBay, raw copies are around about the 40 to 50 range at the moment. I paid £1.50 for this copy in an Oxfam store, so charity shop. So for 2 copies I paid a grand total of £1.50. Happy days. On to number 19 on our list. It is a hot indie title at the moment. It is from Boom Studios. It is Once and the Future issue 1. It's still doing well. The second printing of this book is also doing very well, more so than this one probably. Well, this is basically an evil Arthurian myth is summoned from the past to wreak havoc on the present day. Now, this is a book that's gone into multiple printings. I know the 3rd printing's just come out. But for me, I've said it before, guys, it's all about the first print. And eventually, I think time will tell that this is a long-term hold. This has sold 55 copies this past week, had a 7-day trend of plus 89%, and a high sale raw went for $41. So they're starting to creep up, guys. Okay, if you see these, because I was on the forums, and some forums are saying that there were none in their LCS, and other people were saying that there were a ton still on the shelves. I would certainly pick up a couple more copies if you find this, guys. I paid £6.99 from Place and Space in eBay. They're tending to up their prices a little bit now, which is a little bit naughty, I think. But I suppose they've got to sell some books. And I was suckered in. One of the few newer titles I have gone for. Now, the next book on our list is another really hot independent title. And it is from Source Point Press. The book in question, guys, is Dead End Kids. I think I said Kings last time. Dead End Kids, guys, from Source Point Press. Now, this book has been on fire somewhat. It's holding very well. Number 2 is also doing fantastic, but number 1 this week sold 61 copies at a 7-day trend of plus 85%, and at a high sale for a CGC 9.8, yes, they're out there already, for $140. Crazy stuff for that Dead End Kids, guys. Number 17 on our list is the first of the X titles, because they've been doing very, very well of late, guys. And the book in question, if you just bear with me, is The Secret Hidden Variant, and that comes from Silver, and that is for Powers of the X, issue number 3. That's the book, guys. House of X, Powers of X. Finally, we're getting good X titles, and I have not read one of them yet. It's excelled this past week. It has sold 41 copies. It had an excellent 7-day trend of plus 136%, and an exquisite high sale, raw sale of $29. That is great stuff for a book that is just a couple of weeks old. Number 16 on our list. This is a book I would love to add to my collection. I have the big boy, but not yet do I have this one. This is Marvel Spotlight, issue 28, The Moon Knight. Yeah, this is the first solo Moon Knight story. Okay, guys? And that book is on fire right now. It's a book from 1976. It sold 45 copies this past week, had a 7-day trend of plus 125%, and a high sale CGC 9.8 went for a whopping 1,150. Now that's impressive, but back in November of 2017, a 9.8 of Marvel Spotlight 28 went for an incredible $4,000. That's insane. I've never really understood the pull with Moon Knight. Of course, he's getting his own show now on Disney Plus, and the 2 casting rumours I'm hearing is Andrew Garfield, of course, from Amazing Spider-Man fame, which I wouldn't mind, and the other one, Shia LaBeouf. Oh my days. Shia LaBeouf, well, like I said it before, he is a nuthouse, isn't he? And he's probably got split personality, so he could pull off the Moon Knight. Talking of Moon Knight, in at number 15 on our list, I pulled out the big boy book. You don't come out to play very often. Werewolf by Night, guys. Issue number 32. Of course, the first appearance of Moon Knight. That is Mark Spector. It's also the first appearance of Frenchie. And interestingly, Mark Spector's first name is misspelled in this issue as Mark with a K. Yeah, I bet not many of you knew that. I'm full of interesting facts like that. Now, my copy is pretty sweet, guys. What did I pay for this? Back in the 22nd of January, February, March, April, 22nd of May 2018, I paid just £140 for this. Yes, it's a pence copy, but these pence copies, when it comes to the high-end books, don't really diminish the value. They'll compete with the cents books all day long. Like I say, I would put this in the 6.5 to 7 range, and that is probably about an £800 book right now. Great book to have. I'm surprised really it didn't crack the top 10, but other books have bigger trends. This was a front-running rumour at the San Diego Comic-Con, so it already had momentum, but of course with the announcement it is now on fire. It sold 26 copies, which is impressive for a book that is so expensive. Had a 7-day trend of plus 219%. Get ready for this, guys. And a high sale CGC 9.4 went for a whopping $5,990, guys. Werewolf by Night, probably a C-list character. He's taken them all down, and it's good for me. Okay, on to number 14 on our list. And I remember this animated show fondly from my childhood. It was a great series. I've actually got it, I think, on DVD now. The book in question from 1981, Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends, issue number 1. I think, guys, that's the first appearance of Firestar, wasn't it? Now, this was another oops kind of book, because Disney Junior announced a show with the same name, but with no connection to the original 1980s animated series. The new series will feature Peter Parker, Miles Morales, and Gwen Stacy as Ghost Spider. So we're not getting Iceman and we're not getting Firestar. Still, this news sold 46 copies of that book. I would love to add that book. A good nostalgia book. It sold 46 copies, had a 7-day trend of plus 129% and a high sale. CGC 9.8 went for a very respectable $358, guys. Nice book. Talking of nice books, we got a beauty here. In at number 13 on our list is another Bronze Age classic that I own, and it is Nova, issue number 1. Looks even better now. I've whacked it in a bit of miler. And this is from 1976. This really heated up due to the Russo brothers. And during an interview, a fan asked the question whether Nova would appear in the MCU. And Joe Russo responded in reference to Endgame, saying, "Look closely at the scene where they were all battling again, and you will see Richard Rider in the background of a shot, an Easter egg." Well, Joe Russo said this with no hint of a joke either. Yet shortly after, they responded to all the excitement with, "That was actually a joke on our part." A lot of people didn't find this funny as they started to splash the cash. Especially not to the person who's paid $1,250 for a CGC 9.8 of Nova upon hearing the news. Well, it had a big effect on the sales, and it sold 52 copies and had a 7-day trend of plus 111%. Now, back in the back end of 2017, I paid 20 quid for this. Again, a pence copy, but very respectable grade. Could be a 7, 7.5, maybe even an 8 on a good day. That's good enough for me, and I really enjoyed this read. It's the first appearance, of course, and origin of Richard Rider, who I'm sure will appear in the MCU very soon. It's also the first appearance of Centurion Nova Prime, who was Roman Day, and he appeared in Guardians of the Galaxy, the first movie, and he was played by one of the stepbrothers. I can't remember the actor's name, opposite Colin Farrell. And it's also the first appearance of Robbie Rider, who was the brother of Nova. First appearance of Charles Rider, Gloria Rider, Bernie Dillon, Caps, Donnelly Dover, Ginger J, Mike Burley, and the Exandarians. Oh, don't forget Zor. Lovely book with lots of first appearances, but of course the key one is Richard Rider, Nova. Now on to number 12, and we're talking more Powers of X, guys. And this is Powers of X issue number 2, the regular cover, guys. There we go. It's from Silver. That's your book in question. So, Powers of X issue 2. Sold 49 copies this past week, had a 7-day trend of plus 124% and a high sale. Raw book went for $22. Good stuff. And our first runners up, and we're keeping with the X titles, is House of X issue 2, the regular cover, guys. This is a Pepe Larraz cover. Very busy. Not sure I like it. Some people do though, clearly. And it's selling insanely well. Number 3s were sold out at most shops early on Wednesday. And that was online. It sold 93 copies on eBay. It has a 7-day trend of plus 107%. And that issue 2 at a high sale raw go for $26. So we're into the big top 10 now, guys. And this is where it gets real good. When you're leaving books like Werewolf by Night issue 32 off the top 10, it's got to be pretty impressive. And this is a book I've seen about roughly around about 10 quid. But this one's really heating up due to the fact that, of course, we are getting a She-Hulk live action show on Disney Plus. Now, the rumour I've been reading, guys, and I haven't confirmed it's a hot comic book alert yet, but if you get a chance, get out there and get Tales of Suspense issues 93 and 94, because by all accounts, MODOK is going to be the villain in She-Hulk. So be on the lookout for that. Sensational She-Hulk issue number 1 is the book in question, guys, or number 10 this week. A lot of these covers are quite striking, aren't they? But it sold 41 copies this past week. Had the average raw sale just $5.68, and an average book graded for that is $39.08. So they are readily available, guys, but they are selling well in good quantity. Basically, if you can't get Savage She-Hulk number 1, that's the book to turn to. Number 9 on our list, and I have it. It's the first appearance. It is the first appearance of Sleeper, Sleeper, and this is Venom First Host issue number 3, guys. This is where Venom bonds with the infant symbiote. Yeah. Now this is all heating up again due to Venom 17, where Sleeper is by all accounts in that. He sold 39 copies this past week. The average raw sale now $7.14. I paid $3.50 for this the day it came out in back end of 2018. An average 9.8 is going now for $29.99. So I don't think they will be this week, as this book is going up and up and up. But be on the lookout for this one. Venom First Host issue number 3. This next one, number 8 on our list. I passed on this the other day for about, what was it, 25, 30 quid? Kind of regret it now, but for me it wasn't the first appearance. It was the first full appearance, and I like cameos for some reason. But I might go back and get this. This was a shop in Worcester. This was all new Marvel Now .1. The first full appearance of Kamala Khan. Yeah, of course we are getting a Miss Marvel show as well on Disney Plus, guys. Well, that book has sold 53 copies this past week. The average raw sale now $44.92, and a graded average of 9.6 is going for $140, guys. Good book to have. Kicking myself a little bit, but not that with this one, because number 7 on our list I'm delighted to own. I'm going to stick this in some Mylar probably a bit later today. It is Devil Dinosaur issue number 1. Yeah, of course, like I said, we're getting a Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur show, and of course he is going to be a big player in that show. This is also the origin of Devil Dinosaur, but instead of being with Moon Girl of this one, he is with Moon Boy, and it's Moon Boy's origin as well, and first appearance. It's also the first appearance of a villain called Stonehand. Mine's about a 6.0. The average raw sale book now is going for $23.71. I paid 10 quid for this in November of last year. 9.6 on average graded now is going for $78.57. This was a week or so ago. It will be approaching $100 for sure now. I have no doubts. Good book to have. Bronze Age goodness. Okay, number 6 on our list. And we're still battling with the She-Hulk. It is the big one of She-Hulk. It is the Savage She-Hulk, issue number 1. Of course, the She-Hulk Disney Plus show is coming with Jennifer Walters. And this is her first appearance and origin. It's also the first appearance of Nicholas Trask and the origin of Hulk retold. Dr. Robert Bruce Banner. And of course, this is a cover homage to issue number 1 of Hulk from May of 1962. Oh, actually, I've made a boo-boo. I have made a boo-boo. Because this, my friends, is the direct edition. The book I'm talking about, apologies, is the newsstand. Yeah. The newsstand. So I don't have a newsstand. And the newsstand sold 67 copies this past week. The average raw sale now, $64.61. The average graded 9.8, $423 for that newsstand Savage She-Hulk issue 1. I thought I had another one on my list then. I got excited. Number 5 on our list. It's been a bit love for Moon Knight this week. And we're getting Moon Knight issue number 1, guys. That is our number 5 book of the week. Now, I've turned down this book on several occasions, roughly in the £10 to £20 range. It sold 81 copies this past week. And the average raw sale now is $29.03. The average graded book is $169. And that Moon Knight is the first Moon Knight solo series, issue number 1. Number 4 on our list. Delighted to have this one. And this is one of my steals, biggest steals ever. £2.58. Avengers issue number 47. And this is a nice graded book. At least a 6.5, 7. Of course, this is the first appearance of Dane Whitman, who later becomes the third Black Knight. Captain America also quits the team in this book, but it's all about Dane Whitman, guys. This is a fantastic book because, of course, Kit Harington is going to be playing Dane Whitman, the Black Knight, in the upcoming Eternals movies, which is fantastic news. This sold 59 copies this past week. The average raw sale now, raw, $137. Do you know what I paid for this? Back in 2017, £2.58. Insane stuff. And 9.6 on average now is going for $322. If I only knew where and how to slap books, I'd be making a fortune. That is Avengers issue 47. Number 3 on our list. I do have it. Savage Shield. Sorry, apologies guys. This is the direct market edition. Now apparently, usually newsstands are worth more money, but with the Savage She-Hulk, the direct edition garners more coin because there are less of these by all accounts. So this is our number 3 this week. Like I said, the first appearance and origin of Jennifer Waters as the She-Hulk. 147 copies of this book sold this past week. The average raw sale now, $125. Like I said, I paid 20 quid for this back at the back end of 2017. So you can see how much that's going up. 9.8 on average is going for $336. I can see this book, when that show comes out, getting closer and closer to the £1,000 mark for a 9.8. Great stuff from She-Hulk. Number 2 on our list, guys. Passed on this one when it came out, and I didn't see anything in it, but there's some love for it now. This is Venom First Host, issue number 3, the second printing. And this is the first cover appearance of the Sleeper. Yeah, the first cover appearance. And of course, Sleeper shows up in Venom issue 17. This sold 51 copies this past week. The average raw sale now for that one, $72.81. Wow, that's mind-blowing for a second print. A 9.8 on average is going for $138, guys. So it's not much of an increase. You're only doubling your money basically from a raw to a 9.8 slabbed. I know what I'd choose if I had the money. And our number 1 on this week is our Soul DC book. It was a bit of a shocking panel at the end of the book. From that you'll probably guess. It is Batman issue number 1, the regular Tony Daniel cover. Yeah, great book, guys. I said to my LCS owner, I said, this one's going to be hard. He wasn't just so sure. He said, well, they speculate on deaths all the time. I said, trust me, mate. I said to Aaron, this one's going to be a biggie. This was the only one in my shop. I managed to grab it. £3.50 the day it came out. That was on the 21st of August. This is where Bane snaps. Spoiler, Alfred's neck. Yeah, Alfred dies in this issue. It's a Year of the Villain Dark Gifts tie-in. Whilst 274 copies sold this past week. The average raw sale now already is $14.98. So we're nearly at $15 for a couple of weeks. No graded copies out there, but that is our number 1. Batman issue number 77 from Tom King. He's not always had the best of a fan base in the world, has he? But Tom King seemed to deliver with that issue. So how many have I got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 this week. Woohoo! I'm fighting back. Thanks for everyone who subscribes to me. If you haven't subscribed, please do. It means so much to me. I love bringing out the content. They're coming out most days. I'm currently sat at 723. Thanks to everyone for watching. That's Daz over now. Bye for now.